Hello there, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about how financial literacy can contribute to economic empowerment. You know, it's been said that the one thing that's more powerful than the paycheck itself is knowing how to use it. So that's what we'll be covering in today's video. So when we talk about financial literacy and economic empowerment, well, let's talk about what that means, economic empowerment. What is that? And of course, there's things like our mindset and our beliefs that, once again, that we'll be needing to talk about and cover how that factors in, are the decisions that we make at the local level, how is that all connected, financial freedom, all of these concepts. Well, that's what we're going to be delving into and going through in this particular video. Let's first talk about economic empowerment and what that really means. We're really talking about you having the power to understand how wealth is created so you can accumulate the kind of wealth that you are happy with. There is no reason whatsoever that you should be living paycheck to paycheck, no matter how much you earn. It's understanding different ways that you can generate income for yourself and wealth for yourself while doing something, ideally, that you can tolerate, are happy doing, that you understand who you're serving. And make no mistake about it, this economic empowerment is about serving somebody. And when you begin to understand that, there is a certain level of freedom to that, right? And when you understand through financial literacy how to manage what's coming in and what's going out, when you begin to understand how your mindset relates to all this stuff, that is what gives you the empowerment over your life, particularly your financial life. According to the World Bank, as financial literacy improves, upward mobility improves. Well, that seems logical, right? When you begin to understand how the financial system works, when you begin to have that understanding of income and managing it, managing risk and debt and investments and all these sort of things, then you begin to see opportunities in places that you may not have saw them before. When you put the words opportunity, is, and then know and where together, it can be read, right? When there's no spaces in between any of these, and if you're reading from left to right, most people will then begin to read this as opportunity is nowhere. But if you just carry that out one more letter, that N in no to the W is now opportunity is now here. Everything changes with your perspective. And that perspective is this knowledge base, this financial literacy. You begin to see opportunities because you understand how the system works. When you begin to combine those knowledge with the skills around building habits and managing that money, that is what becomes empowering. It's been shown that communities that have higher levels of financial literacy have lower levels of people in public aid, which really kind of makes a lot of sense, right? There's better sense of how to spend money. Local businesses tend to do better. When people don't have a lot of debt, they're able to withstand economic downturns better. That has impact throughout the community, right? There's another thing that often happens too, and there's this kind of understanding about neighbor helping neighbor. And this has been something that I think has been deteriorating, and there's some data that over decades, this whole idea of smaller communities, even neighborhood communities in some of the larger city areas, where neighbor really knows each other and they help each other when things aren't going so well. As we lose that, and it is tied up in this whole concept of financial literacy, because it's really tied up in this understanding of how money works, how your responsibilities in terms of saving and giving back and investing in the local area and all these kind of concepts, when that is ingrained in a community, in a culture, in a society, then those societies will do better when things begin to go south. And one thing about the law of economics that you're going to find is as things will go up and they'll come down. Now, throughout our history, they go up and they come down, but those downs always rebound, and we have more wealth today than we've ever had in our history before, right? All of that is improved with financial literacy, and the impact on local communities can be profound. A lot of the stuff I just kind of talked about is related to not just the knowledge and the skills, but it is the mindset. It's the beliefs that you have. It's the beliefs that you have throughout the community as well. When your community has a set of beliefs around what it means for wealth creation, what your attitude towards is wealth creation, what your attitude towards is poverty, and the people who create wealth, the people who create poverty, that makes a huge difference. It's all related to your mindset, right? Do we have a finite sized pie that needs to be divided up? Rich get richer, the poor get poorer. If that's your belief system, and that's the belief system of a community, of a culture, that's going to have a profound impact throughout the whole economics in general. It has an impact on how people relate to each other, right? When you believe that the pie can keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and that your slice is not predefined, that you can begin to get a bigger and bigger slice of that pie, that totally changes how you're going to handle money, how you see opportunity, how you evaluate risks. All of those things are related to mindset. Your beliefs are crucial. The habits you have, habits around tracking your money, saving your money, investing your money, managing your money, planning those things out. All those habits drive decisions. Decisions are going to have that impact. Family, then from the family outward. So your mindset, as I say often, impacts every area of your life and ripples out far beyond yourself. There's so much that you can begin to do to feel empowered about money. It begins, as I've said in other videos as well, you take responsibility. Take responsibility for what you know, for your beliefs, the emotions that you have around. Bring it out, get it down on paper, see what you have, see what the beliefs are of people who don't have that. Read books, read things like Think and Grow Rich, which is a classic. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that's another outstanding book. There's a lot of books out there. There's some more current ones that break down some myths around investing. There are so much available to you. You need to begin to take ownership of it, begin to read that, begin to look at your beliefs, managing your time. You're taking responsibility for your time so that financial literacy empowers you. It empowers not just you, it's going to impact your kids. It's a legacy that you definitely want to pass on. If you don't take responsibility and you don't take the initiative, you're just going to be kind of sucked in with a wave that's carrying you, right? With you and no control. The stress, all those negative things that you probably already feel, if you're in that situation, to get out of it, to get out of that kind of current that you're in, begins with taking responsibility. So encouraging you to do that and get empowered in the process. I do appreciate that you watched all the way to the end. Thank you for that. You should thank yourself as well, because I know you got a lot more out of it by seeing it all. As always, I would encourage you to subscribe to our channel, check out other videos. In particular, you might be interested in watching the video, How Does Financial Literacy Impact the Economy? So check that out today.